We're live.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully is indeed the correct word to use there.
Just never know with us sometimes.
It's specifically me and my phone. It's very finicky. But at any rate, welcome back to Book Chats with Mostly Books. I'm Jody.
I'm Melissa.
And I should first start by saying this is our last book chat for the year. We will possibly come back in 2022, which I can't believe it's going to be 2022.
I know, it's crazy.
But we're approaching the holidays. It's time to be on a break.
Yeah.
So we hope you enjoy our last one, and we'll let you know if we continue. Tonight we are doing the X Hex by Erin Sterling, which was picked by Melissa.
Yes.
And it was a delightful pick.
Thank you.
Do you want to tell us why you picked it?
Well, we needed, obviously October, we needed some kind of spooky read.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like dark, scary things. I'm not a horror reader, movie watcher, anything like that. So I had an advanced copy of this. I said, that looks really cute.
Mm-hmm.
Just a good witchy book for Halloween.
I thought it was a perfect choice.
Yes.
It's a great one to end on. I thought it was delightful with fun characters. I loved that it starts in October.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not quite Halloween, but we are definitely building towards Halloween,
yes.
which was quite delightful.
Yes.
I will not say that word anymore tonight. So what did you think of it?
I thought it was really good. Do we want to do a synopsis of the book first?
That would be a really excellent idea.
It's Friday. It's okay.
Right? So yes, give us a synopsis.
Okay, so obviously from the title, there's a hex involved with Vivi's ex. So we start out, Vivi has just had this like summer fling with Reese, who's also, they're both witches. And they break up and she's sad and wallowing, and her cousin, which they shouldn't be doing this, but they're mixing vodka and witchcraft, as we learn from like the opening line in the book. And they curse Reese, thinking they're just having fun. And 9 years later, Reese is back in town, and maybe the curse wasn't maybe it's more real than they thought it was. Let's just go with that.
Yes, I think that was a good way of putting it. I do love that they so Vivi's aunt and cousin run a witch bookstore, and they have tea towels that say don't mix vodka and witchcraft.
Yeah,
they're like, this is the one golden rule in this house, and what did we do? I enjoyed that immensely.
Yeah, I like that too.
So I guess let's start with characters.
Okay,
what did you think of Vivi?
I really liked her. I think you got to see her growth as a witch over the course of the book. Because the book opens, she's only 19 when her and Reese first break up, so she's sort of new to like witchcraft in a way because she didn't grow up with it. Mm-hmm. Her mom, and her mom was a witch, right? Mm-hmm. But she just didn't really practice.
She was not practicing, and didn't encourage it.
Yeah, so it wasn't until Vivi went to live with Elaine and her cousin Gwen that she was more introduced to witchcraft and being a witch and spells and so she kind of started out, not really knowing her place in that world, and we get to see that evolve as the book goes on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's an excellent point. She very downplays her abilities as a witch throughout the entire book.
Yeah,
and like all along, you're like, you gotta stop doing this.
Yeah.
And she's even like, I associate more with the norm. I don't remember what they call them in this, but non-witch people.
Yeah.
And she's like, I barely use any spells.
Yeah.
During maybe once a week.
Yeah. I liked how her aunt at one point was like, you don't even use it to clean your apartment, which I would totally do.
I would totally do.
Like, she's not even using it to clean up, so.
Yeah. She's like, no, I gotta listen to my podcasts and books and things. And I was like, I mean, I get that. But not cleaning the bathroom would be awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoyed her growth through it as well. And it was a fun arc for her, I guess.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And she was pretty young, even in 9 years later, she's still in her mid-20s, so she's still figuring things out. Yeah. So it was good. Yeah. What'd you think of Reese?
I liked Reese. He's kind of the black sheep of his family. Mm-hmm. He well, especially with his father, he didn't want to go home and see his father. He owned a travel tour guide company, so he wasn't always traveling and never in one place, and so he didn't even want to go back to the town, but his father forced him to go back. for the Founders Day, because one person in their family, as the founders of the town, have to go back for the festival. So he was picked this year to go back.
Right. And he has to recharge the ley lines of the town to continue their magic in that space. Yes, as the founding family member. Mm-hmm. I didn't such a dad move. Like, well, your brothers are all doing something for the family and you're not. Yeah. So you get to go as your punishment. Yeah. Basically is what happened.
Since you don't come home enough.
Yeah, and you haven't seen me in half a year. I enjoyed his, who says that comment. 6 months. Yeah, okay, well, first off, I also liked Reese. I wasn't sure if this would be the kind of rom-com where he kind of is a punk in the beginning and then comes around, but he wasn't. He was just a good dude. Yeah. And he didn't handle the situation with him and Vivi in the beginning well. No. He claimed that he had to suddenly leave and go back home because his dad was, arranging a betrothed kind of situation, and he just leaves. And that was not cool.
Yeah, he didn't explain it to Vivi very well.
Well, he didn't explain it to Vivi, and I'm not really sure how you would still explain that to Vivi. Yeah. But he was 19, so, that's kind of a 19-year-old thing to do. Yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed him, and I feel like I was leading somewhere with that comment, but I've lost my train of thought on that. Other than I think he was a really good character. Yeah. And I enjoyed his arc as well. Mm-hmm. Because they both kind of had to grow up a little bit more in this book, even though they were adults. Yeah. When it took place. Yeah. What'd you think of his dad?
I didn't like the dad.
He's such a chump.
Yeah. And once we get into spoilers, I can talk more about something I thought about him.
I just wanted to talk about the aesthetics he chooses in his housing situations, and it was very gothic, heavy, dark thing. It was very much he wanted to be in medieval times. Mm-hmm. It felt like, and it was just very odd. Nothing would be modern in his house. No. I mean, if you would expect to see knights of armor and swords on the wall, that's at least how I felt. Yeah. Dreary, dark, dank. Yeah. And I mean, granted, the one house is in Wales. It's a little bit wetter over there. Yeah. But you don't have to be in a dark, dank house.
Yeah, especially the one they have in Georgia too is like that too.
Yeah. The one in Georgia really made me laugh because I could just see this is it a Victorian? I don't remember the style of the house, and then having medieval Wales aesthetic when you walk in. Yeah. Would just be really okay. Anyway, his dad's a punk. Do you want to talk about any other characters, maybe Elaine or Gwen? Or do we just...
Well, one thing I did I don't know, we didn't really talk about the writing yet, but...
No, we were coming to that.
Oh, we're going to come to that? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, then I'll save my comment for that. But, no, I mean, I liked Elaine. She's, the fun aunt who... but she's also a little stern about the magic, about the spells and the witchcraft part of it. And, Gwen's just there to have fun, I think.
Gwen is totally there just to have fun. Yes, I concur with that statement. I want to come back to Gwen having fun and the whole plot of this book. Yeah. When we get there. Elaine, for the most part, super chill. Mm-hmm. I love that she's described, I think, as a Stevie Nicks. Oh, what was it? Stevie Nicks mixed with...
Oh, I don't remember now.
Anyway, it perfectly captures this aunt that you would expect. And then, Gwen's just delightfully fun. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to writing. Okay. What was your writing comment?
I was just going to say, it's maybe not something I notice a lot in books. I think you do. Maybe it was the dialogue. I really enjoyed the dialogue in this, especially between Vivi and Reese, and then I think Vivi and Gwen. There was such banter in the dialogue that I just really enjoyed. It was just a fun aspect that I maybe wasn't expecting.
I completely agree, and have planned to mention that as well. I feel like a rom-com can live or die by its dialogue, honestly, and if it's forced or contrived, it's not going to work for me. But I thought you were right. This was totally fun banter. It all felt very genuine to the characters. Nothing was out of character. Nothing felt forced into what they would be saying. Yeah. And it also wasn't I appreciated that this wasn't the story, like I said, where the boy or the guy, whatever, was kind of a punk and then kind of comes around. I appreciated that he was a good dude, and their banter wasn't so much bickering. It was just well, we have a little bit of an unresolved issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was a little bit better, I guess, for me in that it wasn't so. I don't know. I get tired of those.
Yeah.
Kinda. Do you get? I'm not explaining this well, but do you understand what I'm trying to get at with those characters?
Yeah.
So I liked that it wasn't. Okay.
What do you think about all the curse words? Were you okay with that?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me. But it might bother someone. So just so you know, there is quite a bit of cursing in this book. But in a fun way. It's not like in a malicious, mean way. It's just kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. I don't even remember it.
Oh.
So that tells you something. But I'm glad you did that because you said, you're right. Some people may not want that in their books. And then now you know.
Yep.
If you're going to read this to be prepared.
Yeah.
Anything else before we ruin this delightful, book for everyone?
I don't think so. I just think, I mean, it was at the heart of it. It is a rom-com. There is a lot of witchcraft and witches, and so it could be sort of, I guess you could call it paranormal or sci-fi fantasy, which it's not something I really read a lot of, but I kind of just, that was part. I really enjoyed it, but it wasn't all that. It wasn't like a straight like paranormal book. So if it's maybe not your thing, but you like rom-coms, you would enjoy it still.
Yeah, I agree. It's light on the witches.
Yeah.
The only other thing I want to say about writing is I really liked the town and the way she captured the town. Like, you really could feel yourself walking around this small, quaint little town in Georgia, even though, because of the season, I kept envisioning the small, quaint town from Gilmore Girls, which is nowhere close to Georgia. But I still felt like it had those vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I think everyone should go read this. Hopefully there'll be a spinoff, but we'll come to that later.
Yeah, it's a good book for this weekend if you're still looking for a Halloween read.
It's a perfect way to end the October reads.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. At any rate, spoilers from here, so come back after you've read it. Okay. Can I start by saying that I kind of felt like this hex was really more Gwen's fault than either Reese or Vivi, because it was Gwen's idea.
Yeah.
She basically twisted Vivi's arm to go do this.
Yeah.
And was like, no, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
These are candles from Bed Bath & Beyond or something.
Bath and Body Works.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Like, what harm can it do?
Right? And then they do it, and there's obviously a big, flickering of the flame.
And I think they think because they're hexing him in, like, a, fun way, not, like, in a real, like, it's, you're gonna die sort of way. Yeah. Like, like your hair is not gonna do that thing. Yeah, and I forget what the other ones were.
We probably can't say some of the other ones, so go read that.
But, so I guess, they just thought it was more just they were having fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it totally was.
Yeah.
And until that last statement she says.
Yeah.
But I was like, Gwen, you should know better. Again, they're 19.
Yeah.
But I also really appreciated that both Vivi and Reese took responsibility for this curse. Even he like, I did screw up. I see why you hexed me.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that he didn't be like, well, this is your fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are you involving me?
He seems sort of like nonplussed about the whole thing.
Yeah. And he never once played a victim card. He was like, I might die tonight.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, whatever.
So that was my only rant on Gwen not taking responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there anything specific you would like to talk about? I mean,
well, I guess we could talk about the curse and the.
We should probably really.
Yeah, with the family.
Yes, talk about the family. You are totally correct in that.
I mean, I like the little, because when Reese comes back is when, like, they really notice the curse because he's back in the town, and I don't know, the first few things were funny, like with the little. The head, the skull teeth, like, yapping at him. And,
like little plastic skulls that they sell at the store.
Yeah, and then, like, the cat started talking and just saying treats.
The cat did learn some new words, and I kind of feel unresolved on whether the cat continued talking afterwards, because I was kind of hoping he continued to learn language. Yeah. Yeah, I also thought it was really interesting that this was a 9-year curse that didn't take effect until he came back.
Yeah, because he wasn't affected when he was out, in Wales or traveling.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like, or at
at
least
all.
He wouldn't know of, I guess.
I mean, it seemed like he wasn't at all, because he was known for his trips being, like, really like every flight was on time. Nobody got food poisoning. So obviously his magic was working perfectly then. It's just he comes into town, and then he gets that flat tire.
Yeah.
And what there's
and like Vivi almost runs him off the road.
That was really funny for the record. And he like falls down this hill. And then she's like, "Oh, it's you. I was sorry, and now I'm not." So I thought it was interesting at any rate that it really only took effect till he came back to the town. So it was very, I guess in the long run it makes a little bit of sense knowing the ancestors and all of that. Okay, so the curse has taken effect. He's coming back, and you know, I thought it was interesting. He calls his dad, and his dad is like, "We can't be hexed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you're talking about. You just need to figure it out and come home."
Yeah.
Were you surprised?
No, it sounds like something his dad would have said.
Do you think his dad knows more than he's letting on?
I don't know.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. But I just think I don't know. I just think that's the way he was with Reese. So that's how he treated him. So
yeah. So at any rate, Vivi and Reese reluctantly team up to try to figure out this hex because now everyone's magic is on the fritz. Like Vivi almost starts a fire in the store.
Yeah, well, because they go on the Founders date because Reese has to go charge the ley lines.
Oh, yes.
And like that's what sets it off.
Yes. So he and Vivi go up to do that.
Because his curse is now affecting the whole town.
Thank you.
It's in the town lines. Ley lines and everything.
That's a good point to bring up. And they both walk up, and there's a very pretty purple, and then he charges the line, and it kind of turns like a murky,
like a black sludge or something.
Yeah. And at first, I think they were both like, "It's fine."
Yeah, it's supposed to look like this, right?
It's like, oh no. So yeah, everyone's magic is on the fritz, and we should probably note that this town also has a college for both non-witchers. Witch people. I don't know what to call them at this stage.
I think she just calls them the normal.
Is it the normal? Okay.
Yeah, she calls it the normal college or something.
That's what I was, the normal side. Yeah. And then they have the witch side. So this is probably a big deal that their ley line is affecting everyone's magic.
Yeah.
Too. And we have now a ghost running free in the library of the witch side.
Yeah.
So what did you think of the ghost?
So when the ghost sees Reese and is like going after him because he's a Penhallow, at first I thought his dad was involved with this.
I did too.
I was like, the dad did something to this girl. And that's why she's going after Reese.
Yeah, because she's definitely like
zeroes
in on him and pushes him back against that wall quite violently.
Yeah. Because he's like, I don't know you.
Yeah, and it's very true because she clearly passed in the early 90s with her plaid wraparound little shirt and her Converse and her Nirvana shirt.
Yeah.
So it's pretty clear they probably didn't ever know each other based on ages.
Yeah. So I thought the dad was involved with that.
I thought the dad or Wells, his eldest brother.
Oh, I didn't ever think Wells. I just think I had a dad.
Only because of the age. Because I was like, well, maybe, I don't know how old Wells is aside from the eldest. So I was like, maybe it would work out math-wise.
Yeah.
That they would know each other. So anyway, that happens and they leave, and then Vivi gets a talking to by is she the head of the witch department?
Yeah, I forget what they
like
head of the witchery or something.
You need to take care of this. Yeah. Did you find it interesting no other witch though volunteered to help?
Well, we never really saw them, but no, yeah.
I kind of was like Reese when he was like, I think it's really interesting they don't want to fix this.
Yeah.
But they were very much like, your problem, fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not very helpful.
No, at all. And they probably would have known way more about things.
Yeah.
Than these two. Who knew nothing.
I know. It's like Vivi teaches at the normal side of the college.
She's just history. Yeah.
She's not really involved with that life. So
they're literally Googling how to break curses at this stage. So then Vivi's in her office and another gal walks in and is like, oh, I'm sent by... Well, actually, she didn't really say that.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
So Vivi says, oh, did Dr. So-and-so send you?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I'm here to
help you out.
Help you out. But by that, I just really mean I'm going to hand you this this candle, and you're going to go trap the witch on your own and bring it back to me.
Yeah.
So they do.
Yep.
What do you think of the second encounter with the witch at the haunted house manor place?
Yeah, it was I guess where she would she lived there during school,
Mm-hmm.
and she, because they needed to find her altar,
Mm-hmm.
because I guess that's where her spirit.
I guess that would be where her, like, most magic,
Yeah,
and it would be hers, so it would be linked.
yeah. So they had to find that in the house and get her trapped in. I don't even remember. Like, I don't even remember what happened during that scene now.
Well, they were in a closet for a lot of that scene.
Yeah, yeah.
As they were avoiding some students
Yeah.
at Vivi's.
Yeah.
Now, I can't remember if at this scene is when she says, yeah, this is when they trap her in the candle and she says it's the Penhallows. She hints to that they've done something.
Yeah, I think so.
And then it's kind of like, well, that's weird. Why are we talking about the Penhallows? I mean, we already knew she went after Reese.
Yeah.
But now she's directly calling them out.
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, weird. Whatever. Let's get this back to that Amanda chick.
Mm-hmm.
Which they do. And then they find out they were conned.
Yeah. She's like trying to sell it for money.
She's not a witch at all. She has no affiliation with the college.
Yeah. Those candles just fetch a lot of money, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's specifically with a ghost trapped in it.
Yeah.
It's specifically a witch ghost trapped in
Yeah.
it. Quite the hot commodity, except that this one's on the fritz.
Yeah. And they track her down, and she's like, finally, you're here. Help me.
She's like, I've been waiting. Yeah, so they free Piper again, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't really learn anything else at this stage, right? She other than the fact that she says to Vivi, your ancestor.
Yeah.
Did she tell him more at this point?
I think this is
terrible.
Yeah, I know. I feel like this is where they learned most of about like the curse and why Piper died.
Oh, okay.
Because of she was using so much magic trying to connect with, I forget what her name is, the Jones ancestor, the Vivian Elaine's ancestor.
It's not that I forget the name, but it's a Welsh name.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to pronounce Welsh, and so it's like Arlyn or something. It's like Awlyn, but I don't know how to say it.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you want to tell more about?
Yeah, so when she was back in college, the reason why she died was because she was trying to find out more about her. Like, she learned that the Penhallow ancestor who had founded the town, like, he needed more magic, basically. So he used their ancestor, Joan's ancestor, and took her magic, and then basically she died because of that.
Yeah, he drained her of magic.
Yeah, and so, and then with the town, there's nothing about her. It's all about the Penhallows founding the town and the statues.
I say literal statues of him.
Yeah, and like the naming the college after their house and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they learn more about, why Piper doesn't like the Penhallows.
Yeah. And I think that was fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because she wasn't strong enough to release her. I don't remember what she was exactly trying to accomplish. Or just get in touch with her.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But at any rate, she wasn't strong enough and ended up draining her life source, basically, as well. Yeah. But at any rate, they realized that the key to breaking this hex is to Vivi needs to tap into her ancestors and their power.
Yeah. Because it's more like it's a blood curse now, because when her and Gwen cast the curse, they were taking her magic. They were using her magic.
Yeah, because it seemed like they kind of like called out to her, and she aided them and backed up basically the hex. Yeah, even though they weren't really doing that.
Yeah, they didn't know they were doing that.
They thought their ancestor was just a normal, everyday witch.
Yeah, and she like died of the flu or something like that.
Yeah, and they were like, she wasn't that powerful. I don't understand why this is happening. But lo and behold, she was quite powerful. Yeah. So they have a lot of power. Yeah. Which was kind of hinted at, because even they comment on Vivi's mom being quite powerful. Mm-hmm. Which I was like, I feel like we need to come back to that. And we don't, which was sort of a bummer. But I felt like there was something more to be told on that story. So then, yes, we're basically coming down to a Halloween at this stage. Yeah. I should also mention that through this all, Reese and Vivi have very valiantly tried to not have feelings for each other and have failed epically.
Yes. Yes. When they should be researching, they're not researching.
They're definitely doing something else.
Yeah. The curse is kind of the last thing on their minds.
I was
like,
kind of...
maybe we should figure this out.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, guys, it's been like a week or so. Probably should have made some progress. So at any rate, they're kind of getting down to it because Piper also tells them that basically Halloween is the cutoff.
Yeah.
Reese is going to die if they can't figure this out because...
Like the
veil
is
right?
Thinner on Halloween. It's like midnight on Halloween night.
Yeah, All Hallows Eve.
And so like... Was it all the Penhallows would die, or just him?
I think just Reese.
Because he was there.
But the entire town would as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like Reese and the town. Yeah. And so that was quite upsetting.
Yeah.
Because
Reese
she likes the town.
didn't seem too upset about it, though.
Reese doesn't know how to deal with emotions quite yet.
Yeah.
So his go-to is to go and shrug his shoulders and make a joke.
Yeah, yeah.
He's getting better by the end, though. Yeah, I think he's gonna get there.
Vivi didn't want to spend the night with him, and he was like, "Well, why not?"
He didn't get it
She's
at
like,
all.
"I'm a little upset about this."
Yeah, and he was like, "All right." I did like that. He's like, "I know I messed up, but I'm not sure where."
Yeah.
So anyway, they end up going and doing a whole ritual. The three Jones women.
Yeah. And
calling on their ancestors' power again, and
she takes over Vivi's body.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. Then we get to hear more about. Did we hear more about the Penhallows and what they did? No, she maybe just threatens Reese.
Yeah, I think she was just trying to decide whether or not.
Yeah.
Like she would let him live.
Yeah, and then basically, I think she was at a point where she's like, okay. I can tell that the person I am possessing is really strong feelings for you. Mm-hmm. I might be willing to let this go and save you and the town, but oh, by the way, I don't have enough power to do both. And Reese, being very valiant at this stage, is like, it's fine, take me.
Yeah.
Save the town. Yeah. Vivi needs her town. But she pulls it off.
Yeah.
Needless to say.
Well, Vivi had to go to the ley lines. They all had to...
Oh, the ladies did, yeah.
They had to go use their magic there.
Power of three. Who didn't see that coming? I don't know if you watched Charmed, but...
I don't think I ever did.
Power of three. So that was, fun.
Yeah.
And they restored it to its purple.
Yep.
And Reese lived.
Yep. And they saved the town.
The town didn't even know.
But then Reese and Vivi...
Yeah, what did you think of that?
Well, they went back to like their spot where they first met all those years ago, and she kind of made a comment like, "I'm gonna miss you" or something, and so he thought she was saying goodbye because he had wanted to tell her he loved her, but
he actually went to the house to do that to like make things right. That morning.
Yeah, but her aunt was like, she's resting and saving up her magic.
Actually, that kind of irritated me. I don't know how you felt about the Anne in that situation. I was like, she could probably use this.
Yeah.
This knowledge would probably be very beneficial to what she's trying to prepare for.
Yeah.
But.
So Reese thought Vivi was saying goodbye, and so then when he takes her back to her house, she makes a comment like, I don't remember what she says, but then he says, "Okay, see you. I'm going back to Wales." And she's confused by that, so they just had some miscommunication.
They had a lot of miscommunication.
They both thought, they weren't going to continue on. And
even though they were very much into each other. Yeah. Like, they've had strong feelings for the whole 9 years that they've been separated for each other, hence why neither of them probably settled down.
Yeah.
That's kind of always how I felt.
Yeah.
Like, they were like, it's not the person.
Yeah. So... But then he comes back.
Yes. That was a funny way of coming back, too.
She, finds him in the college.
He has his own office on the witch side. Yeah. And he's like, I needed to put roots down and show you how I felt.
Yeah.
And I kind of was like, or a phone call.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Because he'd sent her something, I think, too. Like a gift or
something. He did send her a gift. I don't remember what it was now. And she was like, okay.
Yeah. And she didn't hear anything else from him.
Yeah. So. And then, it was, months later before he
because I think it was, winter, they had said. Winter semester, the beginning of...
Okay, so it's, 2 months.
Yeah.
It felt like longer.
Yeah.
The only thing that I was kind of like, why didn't we ever talk about this, was the fact that initially Reese goes back to be betrothed to someone, and then we never hear about it again.
Oh, yeah.
What happened? Did that fall apart because of him?
Yeah.
Did it fall apart because the girl didn't want to marry him?
Yeah, I don't know.
It was like never
I don't
talked
think
about.
that. Yeah.
And I was kind of like, Reese, this feels like something you should have told her.
Yeah.
This could have cleared up a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you were the one that was like, oh, I don't want to do this, then that
Mhm.
would have made it, they just needed to talk more.
Yeah.
Talk more, do other things, maybe less for just a moment. Although they were pretty good spicy scenes.
Mhm.
If you like spicy
Yeah.
scenes. So yeah, it ends happily.
Yep. Well, of course it did.
Right. It's a rom-com.
I know, because it was like when he was leaving, I'm like, well, he's gonna come back.
I know. But I was still a little miffed. I was like, what are you doing? This is the weirdest thing ever. And he kept being like, but it's Vivi's town. I wish I could have my own town. And I'm like, you could.
Yeah.
Just stay.
Yeah. Because then at the end, she's like, well, I'll come to Wales with you. We can
Yeah.
be in both places.
Yeah, she does say that. She's like, it'll be fine. I do also hope that they rectified the issue of her ancestors, like, being forgotten. I don't know if that happened or not, but Reese was determined to make it happen. So hopefully he follows through.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? We need a sequel.
We do.
I'm kind of hoping we see a sequel. And it could be, like I said, it'd be okay if it was about the cousin. And we could just see Reese and Vivi in the background.
Yeah.
Happy.
I like when they do that.
Yeah. So,
They
Erin,
pop up in other books.
a.k.a. Rachel Hawkins, get on that.
Yep.
Any last thoughts?
Don't think so. Good read.
It was a fun read.
Yeah, it was fun.
I feel like it hit all the elements for what you're looking for in an October read. With the witches, the Halloween, curses, ghosts.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else you need.
Yeah,
I mean, there
well,
weren't vampires, I guess.
No, it wasn't scary, so that's all I need.
The last thing I'm going to say is I also thought it was really funny that all these witches were like ghosts. I mean, I knew they existed, but this is freaky. And it was kind of, they were still surprised. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you should probably know if you exist, they exist.
Yeah.
But whatever. What do I
They don't
know?
encounter them, I guess.
I guess they don't, which is sort of surprising.
Yeah.
Whatever. Maybe that's for the best. All right. So we think you should go read this. Like I said, it's a really fast read. You could totally get this done by the 31st.
Yep.
I feel that. All right. I guess then we're out.
Think so.
Yeah. We'll see you on the new year.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.